First, I'm going to make chicken tenders. I'm going to slice these chicken breasts into tenders. Then I'm going to dredge them in flour, self-rising flour. It's in this Kroger bag. It is White Lily. Get it out of here. I tied it up in here. Keep it dry. There. White Lily self-rising flour. I will dredge them in that first, and I'm going to mix some of this smokehouse maple seasoning from McCormick into the, well, I'll probably shake it onto the chicken before I put it in the flour, and then I'll put a little more in the flour or something like that, and then I'll dip it in egg after that. And then after dipping it in egg, I'm going to dip it in Japanese style breadcrumbs, which is panko. And I'm using the plain. I don't like pre-seasoned panko. I like to season it myself. And so I will begin cutting the chicken now. And you guys, I like to cut the chicken when it's still slightly frozen because it makes neater slices if it's still slightly frozen. It's harder to slice it if it's room temperature. So it's not frozen anymore because I thawed it, but it's still very, very cold. And it's much easier to slice into beautiful slices when you slice it when it's still very cold. And a very sharp knife is also necessary. You can use pre-cut chicken tenders if you want, but I don't. I cut them myself. I love making food truck style foods, and when we moved into this house and I realized how tiny my kitchen was, I always joked that my kitchen is like a food truck because it's so small. And so when I cook in here, I pretend and I like to I pretend it's a food truck, and for fun, I like to make food truck inspired food. So I believe chicken tenders are a food truck inspired food because it doesn't take a lot of space to store chicken breast and things like that. These are going to be for my kids' dinner. So I'm going to spread them out and season them. The kids want macaroni and cheese to go with it, and they want broccoli. So that's the menu. Broccoli, chicken, and macaroni and cheese. So there. This seasoning is highly flavored, so you don't have to, I don't use too much. You can use any amount you like, but I don't use a ton because it has a lot of flavor in a little bit. One of the things that makes chicken tenders so easy and potential food truck menus is it's so easy to make it ahead. And you can even bread them and freeze them for cooking later. Or you can, oftentimes restaurant stores will have them already breaded and made for restaurants and food trucks and things like that. But I am going to make them from scratch. One thing I do with the egg that I dip things in when I want to bread something, I add a dash of water because the egg doesn't have to be that thick. Just have a little bit of water in this glass, and I'm just going to add it in there, just a dash, because it really, excuse me, it really doesn't have to be pure egg. My kids are going to be really happy today. So it doesn't take much to whip it together. And I'm going to use these panko crumbs. I found these at the Dollar Tree before. So that one's empty. And I'm going to add a little more in the next can. I always have extra of this on hand. This is one of my pantry staples because kids just love to have things, eat things that are breaded. Now I'm going to show you I let the chicken sit a little bit with the seasoning on so it can get in really good into the meat, and the meat can come to room temperature because I don't like it super cold. I like it very cold when I slice it, but then when I come to the breading part, I don't want it to be super cold anymore. I want it to be kind of soft so I can press the crumbs and make the crumbs stick really well to the outside of the chicken. And this is just plain self-rising flour. If you don't have self-rising flour, all-purpose flour will do the trick too. I used all-purpose flour for years. And I'll use whichever one I happen to have open. I don't open the opposite one just because one is open. I just use what I have, and that's it. Now, I have it here in the crumbs. I'm gonna just use my hand and press it on and press them a little bit flat. And it works out great. I've done it like that for years. So I'm going to make these but this is the first time I'm going to make them in the air fryer. So we'll see how that works out. I'm going to continue until I'm done breading all of them. Here they are, all ready and breaded. And they smell, the spice smells really, really good. And I can't wait to put them in the air fryer and see how they turn out. But I have pre-breaded them now, and I don't have to cook them right away. I'm going to wait until it's closer to time to bring the kids home from school. So I'm going to let them sit and wait just a little. I'm going to stick them in the fridge because it's okay if they're refrigerated now. The next thing on the food truck menu is macaroni and cheese. And these are Cracker Barrel brand. And the original price on these is $4.89 a box. And I found it on clearance at Kroger yesterday for $1.50 each. So I will be making this for the kids with their chicken today. They love macaroni and cheese, and I don't let them have it all the time because it's... Oh, come on, box. It's hard to open the box now. Okay. All right, there. I got it. There. Now, I have two packs of sauce, and the pasta, I'm going to give it a stir so it doesn't stick together, because in the beginning when you first put it in, it's kind of important to do that. I put 3 cups in here. I might end up putting 1 more cup because I want to make sure that it doesn't, that there's enough in it. But I don't want so much that I have to drain it. I'm going to put this, yes, that looks better. 2 cups per box. And I am going to carefully measure my salt because I don't want to over salt it. But I'm just going to put a little in there. And there it is. I'm just going to cover it and let it steam, kind of like I did with the rice yesterday in the taco video. Now I might come back and give this 1 more stir before it gets really soft, just so they don't stick together too much. In the old days we had this long process of cooking pasta. We would boil the water and pour the pasta in and pour some oil in and cook it and for a while and then drain it, and it was a big production. But as an adult, I reflect on things and I figured out that I really don't have to do all that. I can just put the amount in I need to cook it and steam it like I do with rice. And it worked. So hopefully it works for you too. Whoops. Now I'm going to cut up this broccoli as well and get it ready for cooking. 1 cup of water down there under the broccoli. I'm just going to put a lid on it and cook it until the water's gone. Easy peasy, voila. Now, I want to show you how this pasta is finished. It's done cooking, or at least as done as I'm going to make it. It still has a very little bit of water down in there, but I'm leaving it because when pasta sits, it tends to drink up whatever liquid is left. And talk about some sticky macaroni. It will be all clumped together if I cook it until it's dry completely. It just has a little teeny bit left in there. Okay. And the broccoli is cooking. Smells good. I like the smell of broccoli when it's done right. I was picky when I was a kid about vegetables, because especially boiled ones, because they don't really have a great flavor after they're boiled to death in a ton of water. So I'm grateful to have learned how to make things and be able to enjoy it. Vegetables can be really delicious if we give them a chance. Now, this sauce is a little thick here, but I'm going to let it get melty in here. It's still warm enough that this sauce is going to melt and coat the macaroni, especially because there's still a teeny bit of water in here. And I do not believe in rinsing pasta with cold water. That's just too much going on there. Come on. It's not infected with some infectious disease. It's just been boiled. Every possible bacteria is gone, killed. I think we just use too much water for many things. And it's just not necessary. Same thing with eggs and milk, in using eggs and milk in recipes. We use way too many of those in a lot of recipes. The old days, when everybody had a cow and everybody had some chickens on the farm, I can understand why they needed eggs and milk and everything. But now, it's not like that anymore, unless you are still a farmer. It's rare. Most people are no longer on the farm. So it's okay and reasonable to learn different ways to make things. And here's my classic companion in the kitchen is a glass of water. It's not hot in this house. I have windows open and it's very comfy, but I'm still thirsty when I cook. Okay, the water's gone. The water left. Now it's time to, yeah, it's so very done. Perfectly steamed. Perfectly steamed broccoli. I'm so happy that my kids will eat broccoli. Some of them go through stages of being pickier, but for the most part, once they're old enough to understand the value of good nutrition, they'll come back to eating the broccoli, cauliflower stuff. They go through a stage where they want to be assertive, and then they refuse. But keep cooking it and serving it, and eventually, and eating it yourself too, and eventually they'll come around. That's the plate, and it looks great to me. Made in the air fryer. It is perfectly done. Perfectly done. And there's the Cracker Barrel macaroni and the broccoli. And there is the chicken. There's nothing wrong with it.
There is something wrong with it.
What's wrong?
The barbecue sauce.
Oh, you don't like that seasoning? Well,
Not that much.
not that much. Okay, he doesn't hate it, but it's okay. All right.
Okay, guys, I'll take a bite in front of you. But this chicken. Oh, fire!
Really?
Yes.
Wow. I'm glad you liked it. Hassan is a fan of my chicken.
My taste buds
This food
are
truck.
screaming. I found a 6-shooter.
This is my food truck win of the day. My Hassan loves the chicken.
This chicken on fire. I can eat it all day.
Can I have a bite?
Are there any more?
Wait, why is this thing? Oh. Is it that good?
I want to eat this all day.
Really? Yeah. Good. Glad. He's a fan of the food truck menu. And Muhammad said it was okay, but Ali said he hates it because he doesn't like barbecue sauce.
Best chicken I've ever tasted.
Not everyone agrees. Come, Hassan. Hassan said he wants to try ketchup on his. Okay.
Hey guys. So now I will be tasting the chicken with ketchup. Yeah. Let's do this. 3, 2, 1.
How is it? Better or worse with ketchup? Is it better or worse with ketchup? Better? There's me. Don't you love it?
Hello everyone. I'm going to taste chicken. I'm going to do it
With ketchup, right?
with ketchup.
How is it?
I know. Mom, do you have any more chicken? It's okay.
One more chicken?
Why don't you start a new video?
Here.
It's not the worst thing. And not the best. Why don't you start a
Why? What is what could I do to make it better?
Don't put the barbecue sauce in.
Don't put that seasoning? Okay. Which seasoning would you like?
Whatever you have that doesn't taste like barbecue sauce.
Okay. Well, I have a lot. So I can choose a different one next time.
Okay.
Thank you.